Let's see here. We're waiting on Angelica to join us. Hello, everybody. Anyone that's watching? I doubt anyone's watching yet. We'll give it a minute. Still waiting on Angelica.
So we've got Sean Hung in there. Good evening, Sean Hung. I think you're our first chatter anyway. We've got 5
Vancouver.
watching. We've got.
Hey, there we go. Check that out. And we're live on Rockfin as well. That's pretty cool. Go live.
Excellent. We've got 5 watching at the moment. Come on. Oh, somebody's disappeared.
There we go. Live.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we are live on. Yeah, cool. Mr. Nick.
Good.
How's it?
Good evening, Nick. Yep.
I guess Mr. Nick is Mr. Nick. All right. How's it, Globe Deniers? All right. I guess that's to anyone that hopefully no Globe Deniers here yet. So
give it time.
Right.
Give it time.
There's Angelica. Hold on. Here we go. She's finally made it. There she is. All right.
Here I am.
She's finally made it. She's finally made it, but not sussed out her screen orientation still.
One day you're gonna get that, Angelica.
Here's what my plan is. I'd like to attack this in little bites. If we've got I got 90 degrees. If I could just do 1 degree each time, and then in the next night of streams, I'll be completely over.
Yeah. I see Thomas.
Anyway?
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was just asking. Angelica, have you had a good week?
It was so chaotic, I don't even remember this. Well, ironically, this podcast is getting me grounded, pun intended, I guess, because I shut off the rest of the world and got in my little. So I'm grounded like a spy balloon right now. This is good.
Oh, that's a bit of a contentious subject at the moment, isn't it?
Talk about a few things going on real quick. I see Thomas Morgan's in there. He's also he's also a friend of Joe Hill's with Effed Up World. He had one last night about I started watching it, and it was talking about how frogs go through the water, and I was like, where is Joe going to go with this? Like, is he like? I was totally confused, and it turned into a phenomenal show. And I'm not gonna. All I can say is go check it out. Right? You're like, what are you talking about, Bobby? Frogs? Like that's how it started out. And I was like, where is he gonna go with this? Like we're sitting here. He's like, check this out. Just watch the frogs now. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch. But sure enough, more mind blowing stuff from Joe. If you're
go, Bobby, straight away, Bobby. That's what didn't mean Jory there, but it works. Is just giving $5.
Oh man, I didn't even. Yeah. I gotta. Man, thank you, brother.
Straight away, no problem.
Yeah, thank you, brother, for that, man. Seriously, much love.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming because the richer Bobby gets, I'm gonna be barricading.
Yeah, let me just say, if you're a Christian here, I really recommend checking out Effed Up World. If you're a Christian, if you're not a Christian, that's fine. Look, you don't have to be a Christian to be part of this channel. I don't, everyone's welcome here. I don't care if you're atheist, agnostic, or you can be whatever, right? We're all on a different journey. We may end up at the same place. Who knows? Time will tell. But yeah, Joe Hill, Effed Up World. And another thing I watched last night, we'll kind of talk about if anyone's seen anything new this week. I watched Benjamin Owen debate Jim Bob on the Trinity. And this is really good. It was really good debate. Jim Bob is very articulate, very witty. And Benjamin Owen's obviously a comedian and very intelligent in his own mind. I mean, in his own, that came out wrong. In his own right, that's what I meant to say. So I'm part of Witsit's Telegram, and this is right now the debate that's dominating Witsit's Telegram is they're all arguing over the Trinity right now, right? So Angelica, why don't you enlighten us? Where are you on the Trinity?
As in what Do I
Do you,
believe
do you believe in the Trinity, or
existence and purpose?
do you
Yes.
do you subscribe to the Trinity?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna say yes with my finite mind. But if you were to say, do I believe in fill in the blank of some sort of very specific scientific thing that I know works, let's say I'm gonna say photosynthesis, right? That's a medium ground for intellect, right? You could say, oh yeah, I totally get it. And then the more you look into it, like, this is far more complicated. Or the human eye. Do you believe in the human eye? Yes, I do believe in it. Can you explain it? Not well, but I use it. I see it. It benefits me. I can observe it. So the Trinity, yes, because obviously I hang all of my trust, reliance, my eternity on the Word, and there are multiple times when their trinities all present at the same time, one of them being when the earth was created. So you've got Spirit, Son, and Father. So yes, I do believe. But if someone were to like a toddler, when you answer a question and they say, but why, I could only probably go down maybe 10 layers of the but why, and then I'd have to say because I said so. But yeah, I do. Yes.
All right. It's hard. It's hard for me and we'll move on. I know not everyone here is, Christian. So I don't want to make the whole show about that. Not gonna, don't worry. But I do. Oh, we got Melodome in the house. Austin Thompson. Thompsons they have the best um, live streams. I don't know what it is. Something about being a Thompson. Man, wouldn't it be cool if him and I could do a crowd? Huh? I think we should have Austin on sometime, man. He's got a pass to come on our show whenever he wants. Obviously, like all he has to do is just hop in because he's our people. He's good people. Melodome is a great show, guys. Check it out. If you haven't checked out the Melodome, you will quickly understand why it's called the Melodome.
Because they're always mellow all the time.
That's right. And you turned me on to that, right, Stuart? I'm pretty sure it was you that turned me on.
Yeah. It was one of our live streams that I'd just come off being on one of Melodome's I think it was one of his just on the spur sort of like reaction live streams in his home and everything. He was just having general thing with the kids and everything. And yeah, it's really good. I love it when he just does, especially the live ones on the spur. Melodome, you're cool, mate, and I love it. But yeah, I mentioned that I'd just come off the live stream, and then from there on, you looked into it and then found him. But yeah, fantastic.
So Austin, I just got on with Melodome. I just got on Rockfin. I'm way behind you, like light years behind you, but it's cool. I'm loving being part of the Rockfin family. Dude, how awesome is that, man? $10.
How many followers? How many thingamabs have you got on Rockfin at the moment? Then how many?
Who?
Followers? Me? Yeah.
Like 23. Nothing. I'm amazing.
Eventually, as we do these shows, I'm hoping, like you say, we're doing these like Saturday night shows as we go on. I want to build up on Rockfin because there's a lot I want to talk about that can't be talked about on YouTube.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're definitely gonna have Rockfin specific shows because you can talk about anything on Rockfin. There's no nothing that'll get you flagged or anything. That's pretty cool.
So as I say, through this, hopefully we can get push because you need over 100 followers on Rockfin to go live.
Yeah. And by the way, my channel is Yahtzee it's like Rockfin. I'm just going to try this. I think it's rockfin.com/Yahtzee. It's YATC, yet another truther channel. But, and Ironworks, I'm with you. Ironwork 92,000. The Trinity is very confusing. I'll be honest. Like that's got to be the hardest thing and I'm just going to say, I've got no understanding on it. Right. Like I can only tell you I believe in the Creator.
I'm going to say another, and this is again, if people believe in the Word. If not, you're like, I don't believe in your source, so therefore I'm not going to believe in your explanation of the source. But for those that do, the baptism of Yeshua was another place where the Trinity was apparently all in one place, because you have the God, Yahweh, saying, this is my son in whom I am well pleased. You have the dove coming down as a spirit, and you have Yeshua coming up out of the water. So that's another place where you can see three separate entities, all with a very specific purpose, but in one. Their communication was clearly in one. And so, I guess there is an utmost confusing, but I think if we could fully understand it, that would be scary. That would be depressing. I can't understand a recipe half the time as to why I have to change the amount of time my cake bakes based on my elevation. I'm like, I can't do this right now. So if I were to be able to comprehend fully the Trinity, I think that I would probably find it very uncomfortable.
Yeah, these were. I enjoy the debates anyway. Like I'll watch them, and a lot of it goes over my head because I don't have the same understanding these guys has about the Bible. I'm a recent convert, so to speak, but I'm loving the journey.
I hope you've got your coffee there, Bobby.
It's coming. It's coming. In just a second, my wife is going to bring me a coffee.
All right. You got to have it. Yep. Got to have the coffee on coffee time.
It's great part of being in a relationship. The coffee's coming, guys. We'll be flat earth. I'm going to have to. So just for anyone, let me explain. I'm leaving the name Flat Earth and Coffee because I want to.
No,
I'm a true earther, right? I believe in, but I think true earth is I think it's better because it deplatforms the trolls, right? If you just say, hey, I'm going to search for the true earth, whatever that is, right? How can you argue with that? Everyone should be searching for truth. They want to make fun of you for researching if it's flat. Don't research if it's flat. Research what the truth is, whatever that is. If it's flat, it's flat. But I think it deplatforms them. That's just my opinion. I don't care if you want to call yourself. What?
You're not getting rid of it though, right? You're just not using it going forward.
I like the terminology of true earther more because I think it deplatforms the trolls. I'm not turning my back. I'm not. So there's a lot of people that are using true earther. A lot of people. I guess. Let me get your take on it.
Okay, can I give you my female take on it?
Well, but hold on.
Yeah.
Let me just say that. Well, I want to add something to your opinion that you're going to give me.
Okay.
I maybe I'm getting redundant, but I think it gets rid of trolls. It gets rid of trolls in your comments. It also removes, if you don't say the words flat earth, or it removes the little thing under the little blue thing under your YouTube. It's just kind of a way of sticking it to them where it makes them harder for them to find you to troll you. They troll on those terms. So it's not that but look, I'm just going to say it. I'm a flat earther. Anyone who can't figure that out, there's no argument about it. And I don't even mind saying it, but I think that the words true earther deplatforms the trolls. That's just what I think. Like, how can FTFE, who makes his living off trolling flat earthers, and McToon, who makes their living off trolling flat earthers, what do they got if you take away that term? That's the benefit to me. But go ahead. Like, I do value your opinion on it.
So you're okay. I'm on a tech level 1 to 10. I'm a -2. So you're saying moving forward. So everything that you've done in the past will keep that name, or that name will change also?
I started a new YouTube channel. It's /Yahtzee, YATC. My Rockfin channel is Yahtzee. I think it's cool because it's hard to find 4 letters. And I think I got that on all the platforms. And I think it's a cool ring, Yahtzee, like the game. And it means yet another truther channel. So you're searching for truth. But if you leave I just think you deplatform the trolls, because half the junk I get in my comments is trolls. It is. It's the same guys. They come back all day long. They're trolls because they don't have a life. They're just trolling. That's all they do. I just think it'd be so gratifying to deplatform these people. It really would. And if we kind of agree in our community, we know what it means. We know what a true earther is. But you do take away
You've just stuffed my video up. You do know that, don't you?
What's that?
If you're not going with flat Earth.
Oh, I still haven't seen the latest version of yours. I tried. I
don't, no, I'm still playing about with it.
Yeah.
It's one of them. I'm not happy with it, and then I think, oh no, that can be changed. That can be changed. That can be changed. I'm never happy with it. That's me. Yeah. But there you go.
So,
but
will there be anything archived that if someone were to type in a search that they could find
everything, all my content? None of my content's going away, and I may just leave the Flat Earth and Coffee channel as a back. It might become the backup channel.
I gotcha.
But several people, I've heard several good channels. They like Witsit, Jeranism, Melodome. I've heard lots of people using the term True Earth, and the more I heard it, when I first heard it, I didn't like it because I kind of felt like, man, you're kind of turning your back on Flat Earth. But the more I hear it, the more I like it. The more I think that, well, it has a purpose. We know what True Earth means, but again, not to sound redundant, I don't know how else I can say it. It just deplatforms the trolls. And I like that. So that's the benefit, right? I think everyone should know what it means, but how are they going to argue with you? Because you can't be stupid for trying to research, for trying to become knowledgeable about cosmology. And you can make that argument. Hey, I'm just researching cosmology. I just have problems with the globe. And they can't argue a problem with the globe. You can't argue that. You can just say, well, I think this is a problem with the globe. So you can kind of be as staunch on it as you want. You can be as, it's just me, right?
I gotcha. I was under the impression that everything in your archives that had Flat Earth would be, and so my immediate thought, because you two are obviously gentlemen and you've never changed your name when you got married, right? So this is my name.
Right.
As women, we're used to having a maiden name that you can always revert back. I just recently reverted back to mine, and I haven't used that name in 25 years. And I was like, well, nice to see you, old friend. And so writing my maiden name again was like, well, that's magical. And so, yeah.
Sorry. Can I just thank you, though, Angelica, because I can't remember the last time I ever got referred to as a gentleman, but thank you.
Yes, sir.
I've seen some.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
Sean, what do you mean? Sean said, hit the like button, Rogan's up. I don't follow that. I've seen that several times. I keep saying Rogan's up. What's that mean? Like Rogan's up. I don't get it. If you want to call it Flat Earth, I'm okay, man. I don't have a problem with it. But what if we go with Flat Earth and it starts raising are they going to have to lower that in the search results too? True Earth, like, is that what they're going to have to do? Or
that might be the fad that you'll start off there, Bobby. Oh, we'll see. We're going to have to change the algorithms now in YouTube.
I know, exactly, right.
True Earth is how it's going to be.
Yeah, there's all kinds of benefits to it, I think. But anyway. Rogan looks like a thumb. I just got it. Okay, yeah, I can't believe I didn't.
That one's still got over my head.
Rogan, he's bald. He looks like a thumb. Have you seen the Rock comparison to the toe? Right, they have a toe in the Rock.
Right.
Rogan's up. That's funny.
I've got you.
Toe Rogan. He does. I lost all my respect for Toe Rogan. I did, man. The moment he turned his back on even Eddie, right? He turned his back on Eddie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw Melodome just said thoughts on, or Austin, either way, thoughts on the sky being as flat as the Earth. Jeranism was talking about that the other day. I watched his show. I think that was 1 or 2 nights ago, but he was showing there's a he's kind of, and several people have made the theory that the dome's not a dome, it's flat, right, like on top. But it's interesting. I'm still going to be a firmament guy, right? And a firmament has to be.
But
it has to be.
Yeah, you see, I'm of a mind, like I say, and I go backwards and forwards with it. Is there a dome over sort of like a section that does terminate, or like Jaron was saying, and a lot of other shows, it's like, is it flat and it's just as infinite? Is the barrier, the firmament, is that as infinite as the plane is?
Or I mean, it's very possible that you have basically a flat firmament that rounds off at the ends. So it's mostly flat instead of mostly convex, right? So it could be flatter at the top. That's possible too. We don't know that. So it could very well be a largely flat dome.
Again, like Melodome's just said there, like everything else, is it just perspective? Is it just down to perspective? And the further you go, the further it goes. Just like we know that, like the moon, the sun, the further you think you're getting nearer to it, the further it gets away due to perspective on your personal atmospheric sort of like dome of vision. So is all this world just created of perspective? But well, again, it's all speculation, isn't it? Because we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, we know what it's not, and so we can at least shave off the things that it's not. I don't know if I shared. Yeah, it was kind of an elusive video. I don't even remember where I found it, but it made me consider. Originally, you think when you transfer over to the firmament side of truth, like, okay, it's almost like a contact lens. It's a one layer thing, but then other questions come up that can't quite be answered by one simple barrier. And one of the I don't even remember who was doing it. It was an experiment in a backyard type thing. He does flat earth experiments all the time, so it's simple. Yeah, he was in a pool of water with the refraction.
Yeah.
The disc, did you see that? He had a disc and he was scooping the disc in and out of the water, and it made all four phases of the moon. I was like, oh my goodness, there it is. And it was so clear. It had the crescent, it had the little tiny glow that you can see around the crescent, and he just kept doing this, and it made me think, especially when you go back to Enoch and some of the other writings where obviously there's windows, but in our humanity, I don't believe we can pass the whatever composition of the firmament it is. But like iron sharpens. How do you tell if a diamond is a diamond? It should be able to scratch a mirror, but nothing else can. So maybe the moon or something has an ability to in and out of the firmament. So the firmament may be a thicker layer of that liquid. I mean, we're calling it water, of that liquid that allows for that passing through. But from our perspective, we just see what comes through that. I mean, I just think it may be thicker than what we're just assuming is a single layer.
Yeah. Hey, let me say this real quickly, guys. I just dropped a link to Melodome's channel. If you don't subscribe, maybe if you're feeling particularly kind today, you can just go give his channel some love. Just go give it a sub. He's got some.
Also, talking to Melodome, he just said he'd jump in, but he's at work. But forget work, Melodome. Get in here.
It's all good. We'll get him in. We'll get him in one. Don't worry. We'll get him in one of these shows. But if you just feel particularly loving today, and you want to go give his channel some love, man, that would make his day. So why not? I'd make everyone's day on here if I knew how. So you just tell me what I can do, and I'll do it.
Definitely.
Nice. Someone's checking out the new Yahtzee channel. Nice. What's new? What's new in flat Earth? Anybody? Anyone got anything? I thought
I do. I mentioned to you in the pre going live there. I have got a rant I want to go on tonight. If it's any time, whenever we come to a pause moment or whatever, I want to go on a little rant that I got very frustrated with last night, and I have in the past, but I just thought.
Let me share one thing, and then I'll turn it over to you.
No, go on, carry on.
One of the arguments I see a lot, and is I just kind of wanted to share this one. I'll hit you up, Austin. Thank you, sir. One of the arguments you see a lot, and everyone thinks it's a showstopper, but I've seen a couple debates where flat earthers didn't have an answer when they talk about the sun, and they say, "Oh, it doesn't change sizes when it goes from sunrise to overhead to sunset, right?" And that used to bother me because I'm like, one of the interesting things is when there's a creator. First off, what happens in the sky doesn't affect the earth. It doesn't matter if we don't understand that. It doesn't change. That's a different argument. Number two, if you do believe in God, then anything's possible with God, and you don't have the right to understand everything. That's number two. But I think there is a logical explanation. I do. And it's this. Some of y'all may have known this, but I hadn't thought about it before, and I was thinking about how would you argue that? What's the answer for that? Well, the answer, in my opinion, is when the sun's directly overhead, it has the thinnest amount of atmosphere you're looking at, right? As it goes down more and more, it goes through a dense. You're looking at an angle, so you're getting more and more of the denser atmosphere, which that's a lens. That we know the atmosphere acts as a lens. That's called atmospheric lensing, and lenses have a magnification effect. So, isn't it ironic that as that gradient, it's almost like a inversely proportional, right? As it goes down at that angle, it's getting more and more magnification. And I found out doing a little bit of research that sometimes the sun is actually observed larger when it's getting ready to go down. So that even supports the argument that you have magnification going on, right? So otherwise it would stay the exact same time all the time. So the exact same size all the time. So there's your argument right there in case someone was looking for an argument about that. I think that's a good argument, is that as it moves down, you're having to look through more atmosphere. Sorry, we're going to call that atmosphere. And you're getting as a result of that more magnification. With that said, let's turn this over to. Let's turn it over to Stuart real quick. I want to hear Stuart's rant. Stuart has a rant.
No, I'll leave it till a bit later on when we've totally probably worn out, because I'll probably get all worked up, and then I won't.
So, Bobby, Bobby, I know you've got infinite bragging rights by your gyroscope, but where I'm staying right now, when was the last time you saw one of these?
I've got one behind me.
A magnifying glass.
I know. So I was going through boxes of books and stuff, and so I'm staying in a place that. So obviously my kids are like, "Hey, like all this," and they're talking to me with this thing. And so, you have one?
Yeah.
I've got one in my drawer here as well somewhere, but where it is, I don't know. It's got the light on. You just switch the light on so you can see there as well. But there you go.
I haven't seen a magnifying glass for a while. Yeah, but I have one here. Right. So as you're seeing that effect, it absolutely has that lens right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you say, if you're go on, carry on.
I was gonna say I am working on on my gyroscope video, but I need a better instrument to turn the gyroscope at a stable 15 degrees an hour. So once I come up with that, I just haven't had time to work on it, because you need something to show the gyroscope turning at 15 degrees on a apparatus turning at 15 degrees an hour, or else you haven't proven anything. So I just need that.
I mean, it's right there though as well. I forgot who was saying it or whatever, that they've never seen the sun. I mean, you'd only ever see the sun directly above you if you're within the tropics. Outside of the tropics, you will never have the sun above you.
Well, I mean, the tropics would be they argue that the sun goes straight, right, on the tropics, right? In the globe model, is that the sun would go straight over you.
But what I'm saying is, in the flat Earth model, the sun is going in between the tropics.
Well, it would depend where you are, right? Geographically, it depend where you are. But yeah, if you're,
that's what I'm saying. If you're beyond the north, if you're beyond the Tropic of Capricorn on the outside of it, the sun. Whereas if you're in the tropics, at some point in the day or whatever, the sun will come directly above you. Whereas if you're outside of the tropics, be it Tropic of Capricorn or Tropic of Cancer, you're on either side of them. You'll never get the sun, will you? You won't get the sun coming over you. So, like you say, just depends obviously geographically where you are on this flat plane.
And hey, let me for some of my flat earthers out there that have a hard time. Does anyone here ever have a hard time remembering which one's Tropic of Cancer and which one's Tropic of Capricorn? Because if you do, I'm going to give you the cheat code right now so you never forget, right? It's really easy. It's really easy. Check this out. I'm always trying to think of little cheats to remember this stuff, right? The circle is when you flatten the globe, it's bigger. Obviously, it's, you have this big, the radius, the Tropic of Capricorn is larger than the Tropic of Cancer. Cancer is a shorter word. Capricorn's a bigger word, right? So just think about, it's a smaller circle. It's a smaller name. It's a bigger circle. It's a bigger name. So that's how I remember it. Capricorn's on the outside. It's a bigger circle. Really easy way to remember it.
Yeah. I mean, I remember automatically which one's which, but yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one for somebody that, which one's which? Oh, I can't remember.
I couldn't remember. They both started with C's. I couldn't remember. I was like, I need something. And I was like, oh, well, Capricorn's bigger. It's bigger on the outside. There you go. So now you'll never forget. If you were having a hard time remembering that, you'll never forget.
The moon and sun.
So I've got a concept that I need help with. When your brain thinks of really open-ended things at night, I'm like, well, what about? And so last night, I think there was a little bit of trickle of coffee still left in my veins. Or like, let's stay up and think about things. And so I don't even know where this would go or could go, but there's arguments on sides of our atmosphere moves together. So we have if we were moving, we should be able to feel it. And then there's the other side of the argument, no, everything's moving together, so we won't feel anything. And so some examples, of course, are such as a centrifuge, right, where everything gets pushed out to the outside. And then the other side of the argument is if you're in an airplane, you don't feel like you're moving minus turbulence. And so that combined in my head with a awesome flat earth meme, where it shows Australia upside down and the boats are upside down. And then it got me to thinking a pregnant woman's womb is sort of a microcosm of a watery world where the baby's upside down and moving again. Does the baby feel that movement? I don't know. My brain was like, hey, yeah, let's think of this all the way to its logical conclusion because it's 2 a.m. This is great. And I never came up with a finality. I think I fell asleep. But, the baby's upside down most of the time, but still the blood rushes to their, to their head. The umbilical cord has to pump and through and stuff. But I just thought of that watery world of roundness, upside down. I don't know. I have no idea, but I feared I would put that onto your plate if you could.
My plate's full. I don't need anything else. I'm already trying to figure out enough stuff.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing you're thinking about things like that at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Why?
Yeah, you don't have to find work for my brain, Angelica. My brain's already full. It's got no room. I'm already working overtime. Right, Ironworks. That's the way I remember it too. The larger name Capricorn is the farthest from the spiral, right? It's easy. I just think bigger name, bigger circle. So I helped a few people with that one because some other people were struggling with it too. Just remember, Cancer, small name, small circle, Capricorn, big name, big circle. Now it makes it effortless. Just like astronomy and astrology, Astral, LOLOLOL, right? Astrology is the funny one. That's the one that's all about,
the pathetic.
It's like, oh, you're a Aries. Oh, then you are like this, right? Like that's, to me, that's Astral, LOLOLOLOG. So it's like laughs out loud. So whereas astronomy would be the more scientific one, right? Like gastronomy and other sciences. So I just like sharing these little breakthroughs I have that keep my science, because when you say something like that wrong, you lose all your credibility, right? You're in a debate or an argument, a discussion, and you call astrology, right? They're like, oh, this guy someone that's been educated on it. You lose your credibility. It's hard to get that back. And the one thing we got to be really diligent about is like what memes we share, because there's one meme that makes a lot of rounds. Everyone's seen that meme of the airplane. And they say, well, it's up like 30,000 more feet or something, and it's going 4 times farther, which is absolutely wrong. We got to be really, really careful about that. Like the math is like dead wrong on that. It's like not even close. I'm just reading some of these. And by the way, man, you two got to get a channel. Both of you guys, we need to start streaming to both your all's channels.
I've got a channel.
All the guys.
I just don't do a lot on it these days now because
all the guys are disappointed. Like, sorry, the guys are wanting more Angelica, right? Like, you know, they're like,
yeah.
I think they're only here for you, Angelica. When you leave, they all fall off. Like user count goes from like 90 to like 10.
They don't even know. They don't even know.
They're not even listening. They're not listening.
Well, let me disappoint everyone to my fullest capabilities.
Like I said before, no, you're just definitely the eye candy, Angelica.
Well, I'll fix it right now. Hold on, let me fix. Look,
no,
those are my pajama pants.
Hey, don't do that! Don't do that, Angelica. You don't know what the other guys on there will be getting up to now. Hey, I've seen Angelica's legs.
You can look at this material. You could make somebody's curtains from 1876 in this. This is the upholstery of a pajama. So I'll just diffuse that balloon right off the bat. So let me tell you, Bobby, because I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, and my I thought, like I was telling you, when I left MySpace to go to Facebook, I'm like, I'm so in with the cool kids now. Not the case. So because I only have my phone and I don't have internet where I am, I have to go to the library, like the actual public library with doors on it. So I go into the library, the place with paper books and the librarian, and I have to enable the live stream there. And by the time I got done, everything here shuts down at like 5:00. So I was late to the library. So if you cannot get more of a loser than that. I was late to a public library so that I could not live stream my YouTube channel with a 24-hour notice. So that's how uncool I am.
Well, you all need channels, right?
I was turned away from the library. That's why I don't have a channel.
We need as many voices as we can in True Earth,
definitely.
Flat Earth, whatever you want to call it. I'm making the switch, right? I hope no one feels
I'm gonna cheated on. Like I say though, Bobby, I'm gonna have to sort of like try and just get a bit more active on mine, and we can do something on it as well and everything. And I mean, at the moment, now,
bring me, absolutely. I've got tomorrow, Angelica. I know you're gonna like tomorrow's podcast. I don't know if you'll be listening to it or not, but it's a one-on-one. I've got a preacher is going to come on and talk about
Pastor Russell.
Flat Earth, biblical cosmology, and he hasn't talked about it with his congregation. I don't believe. I could be wrong. We'll hear him explain that, but I'm pretty sure he's never really kind of talked about that with his congregation. And he's been really studying. Once he came across True Earth, he started looking into it, and he was like, "Wow, this is starting to make a lot of sense in the Bible now, right? Now the things going from being." What's the word for it?
Like allegorical.
Thank you. That's the word my brain was blocking.
What the heck?
So it should be a good one. If you're Christian, show up tomorrow. Sorry, go ahead, Angelica.
Oh yeah, I would say once you see it, then all of those poetic scriptures are not poetic anymore. They're exactly instructional and technical. You can't go backwards. Is he nervous?
Is he? I don't think so. I don't think he's nervous. He didn't. And he's watched several of the shows too. He's like he's been watching the shows because I've been talking about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I heard you talking about him, so I thought that was cool." Like he's been watching the live streams.
I think the thing is as well, Bobby. I think because I mean, I've been watching all your latest sort of like live streams and whatnot, and and thank you by the way for making me a monitor. But yeah, I mean, I'll be in there whenever I can, monetizing the chats and everything and whatnot. But I think you've just got that mellow tone that you can just talk to. That I think
cool.
A lot of people appreciate it, and then like I say. And
that was the theme of the show, right? Like that's why the logo, the image, the avatar says Flat Earth Chronicles. It was like let's just talk about it. Right? I want to normalize talking about it, right? Not fighting about it. I drop it on my Facebook all the time. I've got like 2 or 3 friends that always say like lunatic, nut job, right? Because I'll just come out every once in a while, just go, hey guys, it's a flat stationary plane, right? Like most of the time I'm not on a rave about Flat Earth on my Facebook. I'm pretty But once in a while, I'll throw it out there. I don't hide the fact.
No,
Everyone knows.
You're just an idiot on Facebook.
Right. A lot of people are like, you're just loony, bro. You're gone. And I'm like, the cool thing is with our belief system, we know that in the end, they're going to know the truth. Right. And it's like, you're going to, in the end, I get to look over and have that smile. And I know that, I know that in my heart where we're going to see each other in the end. And I'm going to look over and be like, yeah, what now?
It's like we mentioned before, though. I'm sure there's a lot out there that do know the truth. But just because of society's acceptance, they can't say anything because they'll lose the job, they'll lose
it's
friends
right.
that you might not want to lose and whatever. But
just looking at one field, if you look at commercial airplanes, why is not all the commercial airline pilots flat earthers? The one that came out got fired. Right. The Dutch airline pilot that came out, she started giving seminars to the other pilots. They were you could see in the seminar, they're like, oh crap, right. I didn't even think about this. I'm flying over a flat plane. I'm never dipping down. And she can't fly anymore. Right. So what about the scientist that found, what's it called? Soft tissue in a rhinoceros, a triceratops horn, right? She's like now a school teacher or something like that. She could never get a job again. Once she went live about that and started saying, because she didn't just come out with saying, hey, I found this, soft tissue. She came out and said, you can't have soft tissue that's 66 million years old, right? You can say certain things if you say it a certain way. But when you go against the mainstream narrative, you're blackballed, you're jobless. And now you've got all your experience for all your history is worthless.
I know. I love that one, Mr. Nick. There, can't let go of their NASA heroes, fairy tales for adults.
And I get it. I couldn't either. Yeah. Like I was the same way. I was arguing.
Yeah. We could all say we were there at one point. But
one thing's for sure is I never had an addiction to go into True Earth or Flat Earth channels and mocking them, right? Like I was never like, oh, I'm looking forward to 7 p.m. where I go spend 2 hours of my life mocking flat earthers, right? Like that was never the right.
Yeah.
And
the military too has another. So like the two jobs you just said, the career fields of airline pilots and teachers, those are very highly monitored if you were to come out with any, because there's such a backing that it would crumble whole academia if that got momentum. And the military is another one too, because there were several posts that I've made just roundabout, not directed to anyone in particular. They can window shop through social media all they want, and it was something about Satelloons or maybe it was the underwire internet or under the ocean internet. And I had several, even local retired military, that just swarmed that post of, when I was in the whatever division, we used and rattling off all these things. And basically with that rock solid mindset of credentials. So I was never in that battalion, or I never had that job. So by credentials alone, I can't argue that you physically, your job title was to boop, boop, boop on a thing that sent another signal to another, boop, 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 and you guys communicated. But because it's such an established entity, they believe that has final word. And to even suggest that, I'm not saying that you didn't push these buttons and communicate with something else via satellite, but what I am saying is that those weren't satellites. And so often people have a hard time with the same concept as, oh, are you saying everyone in NASA lies? Well, not everyone knows the top. It's just like the Freemasonry things. Like not everyone's in the toppity top of the secret society, but you do have to be an entry level. Mm-hmm. So somebody at NASA absolutely can be filing, calculating formulas, doing all these things, working with the PR, and they say, no, but I work for NASA. I know. Are you saying my job's a sham? I'm saying your entry level job is not what you're being told it is. And so I think that same thing for pilots, for teachers, for all of those things. They are having a hard time separating what their specific job title was to the higher level of what they're being told that they're actually doing.
Oh, by the way, Brenda has blessed us with her presence. Everyone say hello. Give a warm welcome to Brenda. It should be a very, everyone should give a very, very warm welcome. And Brenda and I are friends on Facebook. I am determined to be her friend, right? And because I think that's how you do it, right? Like I think a big problem is there's a lot of hatred going on, and I don't think we need it. But she is looking for someone to debate her on. So if you want to debate a globe earther, Brenda is looking for she's looking for someone to debate. So reach out to me if you do want to debate Brenda. And anyway, because I thought it was pretty cool when Brenda came on. It made I knew it was going to be a very controversial, very interesting. I knew that, right? Like
I think you got your most hits when Brenda was on.
I think so. Brenda very much helped the channel. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the experience, right? Yeah, and it was an interesting experience because that was, if you will, that was my first debate. Although
I'll say it outright here. And if Brenda's in the room, if she's in there listening, a lot of the time, like I say, some of the shows just tend to go round and round in circles because if you're a steadfast globie and you're not, as Brenda is, and I'll say this if she's listening, a steadfast globie, you're not even prepared to look.
Yeah, Brenda, are you still there? Say something if you're still watching. And I want you to know that I saw you on Jaren's show the other day, last night or night before, and that's cheating. If you ask me, I don't think that's cool. You're either loyal to me or loyal to him. You can't have it both
ways. Oh, cracker. No, like I say, I mean, the arguments just go round and round in circles because once you're steadfast in a certain belief system and then you're not even prepared. That Flat Earth and Coffee, why did you lie just now about Mary Schweitzer?
I may stand corrected. That is what I had heard, and I thought I heard it from if she is still flying, if that's true. Brenda, let me know if you have any details. Please send it to me. I will correct my stance. I had heard that she was let go of. I will admittedly say that was on hearsay. So if she's still flying, I think that's awesome. I'd love to know that.
Oh, sorry. I'm just laughing at King Shin. Oh, yeah. Okay. You love that one. You like that one, Angelica.
Anyone got any new Flat Earth news? Anyone watch any great videos? Anything there? I'm just curious. What's let's do kind of a news update, if you will. Like Flat Earth update.
Nothing
I've
new.
Mostly
nothing
been
new
watching.
Nothing new here.
Let me see. I'm reading through my notes. I have a few notes for this show. Let me see, and let me know if you see anything. Ephesians 6:12.
I just saw that not fired but grounded. Essentially, that's one and the same, isn't it? Because you know what, it's probably better for the powers that be not to fire someone because then you could pursue any sort of legal recourse. But to be grounded, that's like you can be a doctor, but you're not allowed to have sterile equipment or something. It's essentially the same.
Yeah. Well, I think even so. I think even when like the likes of, I think I was watching either a video or Reddit somewhere where a pilot had actually been grounded and then he'd been laid off and sacked, but was still under a contract to basically keep his gob shut.
Okay, Mary Schweitzer, who discovered the T-Rex soft tissue. I've got a video. It might not have been the T-Rex, though. I thought it was the Triceratops. So I've got Brenda, I'll have to get with you. Now, I could stand corrected, and we might be talking about different dinosaurs. But I've got a video of the lady saying that lady said she couldn't get work in the scientific field again. So this was a lady who was like in whatever, paleontologist or whatever you call that digs up dinosaurs. She found it. She went public with it, even though she was told not to. She kind of against she was being kind of directed to not really go out about it. She did, and she can't here she went from being, I think that's called a paleontologist. I'm not sure. Someone who digs up dinosaurs. Someone let me know. What do you call something that looks up dinosaurs? Somebody. But she couldn't get work in the field. That lady said that was from her. I remember that one. That was her saying, and it was like a year afterwards. It was like a year afterwards. And she said she absolutely could not. But I know there have been several people who have found soft tissue in dinosaur bones now. It's no longer one. I watched a video on a Christian channel, and that guy had like 3 or 4 different people who had found it at this time. Why are you filtering my comments? I'm not filtering any comments. Anybody, I'm not. Let me know if you have an account that's been blackballed or whatever. Let me know who it is. Just like type that account. I'll look in the block list. There are a handful of people that just would not stop hitting us with troll comments in our chat here. But
well, I mean, I've seen nothing in the chat so far, and I've not filtered anything or done anything within the chat. It's been quite amicable, and so. But
I think we're all of the. What's that?
I was like, go on, carry on. Sorry.
I think we're all of the basic agreement that the elites, whatever rabbit trail you want to go up or puppet string, there's mostly the same puppeteers at the top. But as you were saying, that any form of scientist, or I'll just say scientist because it's a good general broad term and it covers most things, but they are very much told not to come forward with their information. And if they do, obviously the immediate discrediting of their credentials, of their did you use a double blind, blah, blah, like, no, I just found this thing, right? And so if they can't, I say they, the elites, if they can't hush these discoveries, these questions, these facts, these formulas, these observations by simply saying, no, don't do it, then of course the threats to family and personal life happen, and then career and all these things. And the same thing, I'm sure everyone on here is at least partially familiar, if not submersed to the point of where it messes with your head. The pedophilia ring, same. I can't remember that judge's name, but he was a judge, and he was also FBI and former all these things. And he would, from his like roundtable discussion type benches, say, like, this is what's happening. And he has been threatened. He's died now recently, I believe, from a heart attack. But he would come straight out, hey, like, if you're in the police force, if you're in the FBI, CIA, any of the 3-letter agencies, and you discover any of these things, you are not to come forward with it. You will be hushed. And I think at least all 3 of you here know it's the same people. It's the same people that feed or monitor the school system, the prison system, the medical system, all of that. And so it's insanity to think of how easily, if you pull the string on the sweater, just one string, the whole thing comes unraveled. And so these powers have to gatekeep every channel of truth, whether it be something as and people that haven't submersed themselves thinking, well, how could something such as shape of our world be so closely tied to cancer, the American Cancer Society, right? Because it's the same people, and truth just keeps revealing truth. And they know that if that sweater string gets pulled on, they're in big trouble. So you see them scramble with these professionals that are coming out with any sort of information, and across the board, it's basic things such as a pilot.
Yep. Can I just interject you one sec, because I want you to answer this one, Angelica, because Brenda's accused you of still believing in the Comet Pizza conspiracy, which is a hell of a statement to come out with on a sort of like a flat Earth sort of. What Comet Pizza has got to do with this business?
Okay, honestly, Brenda, whatever your real name is, I will not entertain some skepticism of pedophilia, innocent children, whatever name or operation you want to slap on on it. I am not going to entertain your denial of that, because you and I both have access to the same information. And honestly, I know personally myself am not manipulated by the sway of sexual deviance to cite my ability to observe unobjectively. So, but I believe you are. You are very skewed. And so you and I are not of the same unbiasedness. While you perhaps may think some things are wrong, or you can choose your 50 shade of gray, I think things are black and white. And I do believe that there's too much evidence. And I didn't even see the comment. It's small on my phone, so this is water off the duck's back for me.
Well, just quickly, just before you go on, because you just said, so do you believe in it or not? At the end of the day, Brenda, I think what Angelica is saying, you have got access to the same amount of information as any one of us have got. And at the end of the day, the evidence is overwhelming as to something went on. Something was sort of like linked to
more than something.
The Pizzagate.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of overwhelming evidence out there. So obviously, I mean, you've got the same information available to you. You look into it, and there's just no doubt as to the connections between paedophilia and the Pizzagate, whether you want to call it comic pizza, as in the store comic pizza. Sorry. Yeah, I went down that rabbit hole, and I've looked into too much of that. So, but I just think that was an insensitive particular subject to bring up. But there you go. That's me.
I don't know if how many people here are familiar with the Isaac Cappy tapes, but I think those are invaluable. If you haven't seen all of them or any of them, oh my gosh, go out there and look up Isaac Cappy.
Isaac Cappy.
I'll type his name.
I'll say this. Brenda has no skin in the game. There's already obviously that's veil of anonymity that he hides behind regardless, and feels that there can be some sort of broadcasted skepticism that he casts over everything. But I can't take seriously anyone that can't even have a profile picture, a real name, or something along those lines for a subject that serious. Yeah, for a subject that serious. That
particular subject for me, I can only probably speak from a personal point of view. Just hits too many sensitive points, and you look into it, and I'm sorry, but it's
that's a hill I will die on, and so
definitely
that to me is not just banter. That's a hill I will die on, and I think most red-blooded Americans will as well.
Yeah, and Brits, even we over here. I mean, we've got our own sort of like disgusting pedo ring, which is part of the same. Really, it's all. I mean, everybody's compromised, aren't they, with this particular sort of like topic and subject? But anyway,
what's the Church of the Flat Earth about here, guy? Like, is he using a name to make it sound like he's part of the group, but then spewing like I don't understand what he's spewing. He's talking. I don't know. I'm saying I don't know. So if I'm misinterpreting the intent of his.
What are you saying there, Bobby?
Well, it's saying something about. There's a guy who flies to Antarctica. I don't know. But I don't think anyone's denying that. You can fly to Antarctica as long as you have permission, right? As long as you have permission to do so, you can do it. But there's like two places you can go directly under Argentina or directly across from New Zealand. And they're very small spots that jut out.
Well, no, it's like like the peninsula supposedly that jets out from Antarctica to Argentina. I mean, that's bigger than probably the US. That one
potentially, we don't.
That one peninsula that just jots out that you're supposedly taken over to on these organized tours. that you go for 3 days or whatever, never unsupervised, and then it's back on the ship. Right, that's it. You've seen you've been to the South Pole. There you go. You've seen the penguins. You've seen the ceremonial South Pole. That's it. That's all you can see. Off we go.
Yeah.
And that's all you get.
Church of the Flat Earth. Sorry about that. I misinterpreted the intent of your post. Thomas Morgan's right. Like, I mean, all these people, what happens if you're think of something I've always wondered. He said they might as well tie a millstone around their neck, right? That's out of the Bible, right? These people who are leading children away from God. They may not believe in, what if in the end they come to find out, there is a God and they were unintentionally leading. Like, I wonder how that, I don't pretend to understand how the mind of God, but what happens if you just through your belief system were unintentionally leading, like a school teacher, right? Like teaching first grade and teaching there's a globe. And so you're unintentionally taking kids away from God because of what you were taught. I wonder, I think hopefully if you didn't know, you get a pass, right? I don't know how that works, but
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Brenda. I just drop the topic. Just drop the topic, mate, because
you know what? And this is not to entertain Mr. Brenda at all, because I won't. But Bobby, you had forwarded me a video a while ago that I believe all celebrities are of the freedom affected. At first, it was hard for me to consider the odds. Like, what are the odds of every famous person, athlete, politician, is a Freemason? And then I realized, no. They don't let you become famous, powerful, unless you. So it took away that chance of odds. So I believe that all of them, if you're famous, you've had to. I mean, there may be a few stragglers that are holding out their refusal to join. And we may say like, no, not that person too. So for the most part, so when I say this name, it's not that I support this person at all, but I believe he's already taken the oath, whatever oath that requires. But I also believe his conscience has weared on him so profoundly that his crazy angry artwork and his videos are at war with each other. And that would be Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is very well aware of the pedophile ring. And he's also very aware of flat earth. He's aware of both. And I don't know. Do you remember that video you sent me where he was in the desert and there was some little girl? That video, I was like,
yeah,
he definitely knows.
He definitely
and even in
knows.
movies like
He's
Dumb and Dumber, he knows.
Yeah. Oh, he makes jokes about it constantly on every show. He's make jokes about space and the moon, and it's a constant running joke with him. They all know, right? Like I do believe that. Can I prove it? No, but I think it's evident to anyone who looks into it if you just entertain it.
I mean, he's very comedic about it as well, isn't he? But you just know. He knows.
Even the movement, even the Truman Show, right? Like
yeah. It's just with all these sort of like Illuminati symbolisms that he pushes in there. He pushes in there as a joke and all this stuff. You just know he's aware of everything. He's aware of the Illuminati, and
that's what you do. You mock it, right? That's exactly what you do. You put it in the open. You hide it in the open.
Yeah. Well, it's like what they say. You can get away with a lot more in a joke or a joke or a song. You can get away with a lot more, and I think it gets the message over that much more when it's done in a comedic sort of like manner.
Yeah,
Angelic.
You're cutting out pretty good.
Yeah, slightly.
Okay.
We need to get you a better signal somehow. Let me say two things real quick. You're still cutting out. Can you get to a better signal? Okay. Let me say this. Let me drop this real quick. I'm from here on out, I'm going to be live. We're going to be doing live. At least I'm going to be live Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights at 6 p.m., Saturdays at 2 p.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m. No video feed, There's no video feed. Hold on. Let me see. Okay,
Nope.
you're back. Let me finish something real quick, Angelica.
Okay.
The point of my Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday is going to be kind of one-on-ones where people share their stories. People have been, so I'm going to keep this format for Saturdays. Saturday's going to kind of be the group thing with me and Stuart and Angelica. But the whole intent when I started this was that it was about chronicling people who wanted to talk about how they got to where they are and how they became skeptics and whatnot. And so people are starting to reach out to me, and I'm finally have enough people to do this. So people are reaching out to me regularly. So now we can start doing Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays. Again, Saturday will be this kind of group thing going on. And if I'd like to, I'm going to try to get it going every night of the week and every day of the week. So that's the goal. I'd like to get it going constantly. I'm loving it. I love being here and talking about it.
Where are you going to fit your work into all this?
You know what? I'm going to be honest. Like, you know, it's hard. You watch there are channels out there and they're very proud of the fact that they don't accept tips, or that, you know, it's like, hey, I don't make a penny off this. Like, I think Taboo is his channel's not Taboo Conspiracy. His channel's not monetized, and I'd be proud of that too. Right. But I want to be able to do this full time, and I'll never ask. Like, one thing I'm never going to do is I'm never going to say, hey guys, try to, no, if you're watching the channel and you can afford to buy a coffee. If it gets to a point one day where I can not make as much, if I can just make enough to get by and do this, then I'll do it. And I'll just start turning out content constantly. Right. That's my goal. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm fine with that. But I do enjoy talking about it. I do enjoy learning.
Yep. Definitely.
Sorry, Angelica, did you lose your train of thought like I always do? Is it gone now? What you had to say?
No, I didn't. I think I lost my connection. My train of thought. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can't. You sound pretty good now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so not to circle back around, but just to finish up, that is, as much as such as Jim Carrey are very, very in the know of flat Earth, to tie into what Mr. Brenda's saying with the whole Pizzagate thing. His name was also on Epstein Island on the flight logs. So these things, as separate of conspiracies as what they're made out to be, they are not the same thing. Same lie, and it's all different factors of the same lie, and it's same people gatekeeping the truth. So I'm sure there's all different divisions, but if you speak the truth in a platform that will make any crumble, the same people come after you. And so, yeah, there absolutely is a tie-in to, like how you were saying, Bobby, like, okay, you know this truth as a teacher, you better shut up.
Founded Earth Brothers.
All professions.
What's
that?
Founded Earth Brothers. Founded Earth Brothers. One of the guys is a science teacher, but he knows about true Earth, right? And I don't know, he talks about it. He doesn't really, you know, I'm curious how he does that with his class, right? But I don't know if he like says, hey, here's an alternate theory. I don't know, but I haven't got a chance to talk to him, but he is a true earther and he is a science teacher. So that's interesting that we have that out there, and I'm happy about that.
That's nice. That's nice to have a science teacher who's a true earther. But
oh, and two. So also here's two.
What?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask them what that costs. To be a science teacher and a true.
So yeah, good question.
A teacher and a true earther.
Yeah.
Two more shows I want to get going is I want to call it someone. It was actually a friend of mine in the chat the other day, and he said you should call it office hours. I want to have like an hour or two where it's just for people that are curious about true Earth and they know nothing. It's like 101 where they come and say, well, how does this work? How do you circumnavigate? You know, how do the seasons work? Right. And you just answer questions. And I want to call it office. I thought office hours was pretty cool. It's like we're open for questions. Right. So office hours. And then I thought about doing one and calling it empty vessels. And I thought that was pretty cool because that's what I consider myself on a religious journey right now. Because I'm so Like we're someone who's been on this journey longer. I would consider the vessel more full. They know more. They have more a breadth of knowledge about the Bible. But I'd like for different people to come on and kind of explain it from people having a better understanding than me, right? So I can and I consider myself an empty vessel spiritually. Like I'm on the right path. I know what path I'm on, right? But I like learning from people who believe they have an understanding, right?
I'll tell you as well. Also, Bobby, if you're up for it, what I want to start trying to do, and I've said I've been doing this for a while. I don't know if you're aware you've ever been on the Chat Roulette website. I don't know. You've probably seen it where
I've seen it. Yeah, Zoo York, I think. Yeah.
Jaredism and David Wise did it at one time where they went on to the I think they used the other program, didn't they? But I sometimes go on to Chat Roulette and I chat with, and it's deadly interesting, especially you get sometimes when you get onto the flat Earth topic, sometimes it can really badly trigger, and then others you can have although they might be globers, you can have quite a good intellectual conversation where you describe you might not get them on board. And they might say, "Oh, that's deadly interesting." So I want to try and start one of them up on my channel, where I go on to Chat Roulette and but what I'll probably do to start off with is just go on recording it and then put it on my channel. Then if it gets like thinking of where I can go live and do it live, that's one thing I want to try and do. If you're up for that at some point with me.
Yeah, I'm. You know me, I'm always up to talk about it. Right? I want more time. I want more time to talk about it.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's it. With just no time.
Yeah.
Do you remember,
I wish.
Do you remember the days? Though? Do you remember the days when you had sort of like too much time, sort of like too much time and very little to do?
There was a few years.
You've got too much time and too much to do and too much to take in, and you're not enough time to do it.
Yeah, man, I have no time these days. I got an 8 to 5 job, and then 4 days a week I teach martial arts, and I go right from my job to go teach martial arts. So
I think that's
Mondays.
That's every true earther's story, though, isn't it? Now that you just never ever bored. Ever do you have? I mean, I can just sit at a computer. I don't even have to put the telly on for entertainment.
Yeah. Brenda said, I'm just going to entertain this one because I like it. Brenda said, flat Earth is a religion. It is a pseudoscience. And where I disagree is that it's a supernatural science, right? It's that you have to believe in a creator. And that's where we differ, right? That you won't give the creator a chance. And if you gave the creator a chance, you'd understand that it is possible. It is possible. All these things, we're looking at the same stuff, regardless of the subject, whether we're talking about, ping pong comet or whatever it's called, comet pizza, or whether you're talking about flat Earth or whether you're talking about 9/11. We're looking at the same stuff, and there's physicists that just, there's physicists, flat earthers like UAP, underrated actual physics channel. There's physicists that argue about 9/11. There's college professors that say they found nanothermite in and you can say these people are really stupid, but that makes no sense, right? Or it's just they're open-minded, and it can go either way, right? It's really more of a standpoint of you refuse to believe that that we could be governed by a monarchy, that the world is governed by a monarchy. And that's our belief. You refuse to believe that. And I believe that's really what it comes down to, because it would take a monarchy to pull all these things off. But the moment you consider a monarchy, cabal, whatever you want to call them, but you don't consider that. If you did, you'd realize it's very possible. It's not just possible, it's probable. And it's evident when you start looking at famous people, elites around the world. They're all best friends, and they all hug each other, and they all have the same hand symbols and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, I'm not even entertaining Brenda's comments here, because
if she has a good one, I'm gonna. If she has a great, it's like, oh, that was a good talk piece.
I'm sure sometimes though Brenda is just out to antagonize, full stop, for a reaction, because
Well, you know,
she's obviously not getting the attention she needs in her personal life. That's the way I see it. I mean, like myself, I have got so much contentment in my life that I don't need to go antagonizing us in any way, shape, or form, whether that be on the flat earth side, whether that be on the globe side, whatever. She obviously hasn't got any contentment in her life whatsoever. She just would. I mean, she's just baiting. She's just baiting now on that in that chat. So I'm not even going to respond to it. But
let me say this also. I'm curious if anyone drop a link if anyone here knows a flat Earth online church. Right? I know of Earthen Vessels. That's the only one I know about. That's a if you're not familiar with Earthen Vessels, look it up. It's Tom Pinto's congregation. But if anyone else knows of a virtual church, I'd be curious. I'm curious if there's any others. But what else?
I don't know. Right. This is nothing major. Can I just do my quick rant now, please?
Absolutely. I've been waiting on you.
Yeah, I've got to just get this in, and I'm using this platform to do it because it's the only platform I've got at the moment to get any slight reach or whatever. But anyway, I don't know if anybody has got the same story as me or whatever. When you watch your favorite programs, or for some of your favorite channels, they may not be flat Earth, they may be just because I watch a lot of news. As I've mentioned in the past, very geopolitical minded. I follow world affairs, and so any geopolitical channels I watch, and I watch a lot of them. One of my main ones, and then what I want to say is, oops, Angelica's gone. But I want to screen share if that's all right with you.
Go ahead,
Bobby.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right, so I am going to go on a rant now, guys. So, oh sugar, I can't screen share, can I? I can't screen share a video. I've got to screen share a tab, haven't I? Or can I do a window? Oh yeah, I can do a window. But it's not giving me the option to share with audio. Window. Right, so I'm going to try and share this one. See if this one will share. It's not sharing at the moment.
It is. Go ahead.
Right, can you see that?
We see it. Mm-hmm.
Right, just let me check to make sure the audio's. Can you hear the audio on this? Hold on. Can you hear the audio? I've stopped it now.
No,
but
I cannot.
Could you hear?
I cannot hear the audio. No.
Can you not hear the audio to that?
No, but I think when you screen share, there's a tick box. I think when you go to
screen
share, there's a tick.
But I think you can actually only share audio on a browser tab, though.
I don't know. We don't hear it.
Right, so 1 sec. I'm going to have to go to the actual video then. Sorry, just bear with me two secs.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be as quick as I can because I think you've got to do it on the actual browser.
While you're looking for that, I'll just say Dr. Law 0206. That's something I struggle with. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, but if you know, as someone who's trying to live a life of contentment and a life of non-confrontation, right? If someone has a pronoun, I think what you call them around them, if someone's saying, I want to be called this, I mean, why fight with them, right? Like what you tell your children and your family and your friends. But I mean, why fight with someone if they're just going to say, I don't know. I struggle with it. I don't know what's right. I don't know what Jesus would say. I don't know. What would Jesus do? I don't know. But I just say that I'm still struggling with that.
I didn't see the comments, like it's small on here and I'm kind of in and out, but
I'll read it real quick. It says, let me just scroll up to it real quick. It said, where did it go? Dr. Law says, why does anyone call a man a she? Let me add this real quickly. And then Angelica, and then we'll go back to Stuart. I lived 2 years in the Philippines, Dr. Law. I lived 2 years in the Philippines and they have like every third girl is a guy. And they are so much a part of the community. You cannot do anything. I think they put something in the water. Honestly, I think something happened there, but there, it's normalized that if someone wants to be called a she, you call them a she. Everyone's happy. Everyone gets along. If you went there, I chose to live in the Philippines. And if I were to live there and not do that, I would be the antagonist, right? I would be the one. So having spent 2 years in the Philippines, having lived there for 2 years, I can just say that it became normal for me. That was the way of life, and they are accepted there. They are normal. They're part of the community. So that's why, for me, it just, if someone wants to be called a she, if that's what they want their pronoun to be, I don't know if it's wrong or right, but I'm not sure that it hurts something to respect that. Angelica, what do you got? Sorry, and then we'll go back to Stuart.
Yeah, mine's on the opposite. It's also respect, but it's respect for my. I'm just gonna be selfish and say it's respect for my children. Even if it weren't, it would rub me the wrong way to not. But let's just say for my kids, I got 2 beautiful, precious little girls, and one of them is at that age where she notices and asks everything. And so even if someone looks weird or sick or sad, mommy, why is, right? And I am not about to put that into her. I'm not about to put an adult's doubt into her mind as to what she has to now include what she already naturally observes. And then I also have 3 amazing older boys who are dating, and one of them, my oldest son is married, and my middle son is dating someone who he says is transgender. And I had to have that conversation with him, and he's like, what's wrong? I'm like, no, buddy, listen, I love you and this other person. When 2 people come together, you're already 2 very broken people, and you're going to occupy the same space. That's whatever relationship or marriage is. It's 2 broken people occupying the same space, and you have to make that work. I said, if this other person is so broken that they cannot even bring in themselves into this half, I said, you can be friends, you can be teammates, you can be whatever you want to be, but you cannot have that type of relationship. It's a recipe for disaster, right? Even if we do every way, it's a recipe. My perspective is coming from my primary role of responsibility as far as my kids go is teaching them truth, and to blur those lines, I'm just giving them an inheritance that they can't cash in on. I'm passing down to them a problem that I'm too wishy-washy to give them to give them a steady line. That's how my take is on it. I don't think it requires disrespect or any of those things. However, I think the word respect may be different for everyone. For me, respect is truth. I would respect someone enough to I'm going to say it this way. I think when you give someone truth, let's say someone's drowning in a cesspool of sewage sludge, their smell is intoxicating in their lungs. I can go in and dump in a bucket of perfume and be like, I hope that makes it better. Or I can reach down a hand and be like, let me help you out. I mean, both help. Both are respectful. I'm the bent to let me help you out of there rather than perfuming the cesspool. And I for me personally, I find them being more respectful by being what I see is just black and white. That's just stand on it.
Yeah. All right. That's I'm just gonna say I'm totally confused by the subject. Like I lived in a country where it was normalized, and you would be the outcast and you would be the antagonist if you. So it's like that in Thailand too. Luckily, I was traveling around, and I was traveling with hoists. I was training at different. We were going to Thailand and doing fight camps there, and they're everywhere. They're on every corner. You can't sit down and have them. So you can either be angry And I'm not saying you have to be angry. You could, but it's a confusing thing, man. I don't know. I just want to say that don't follow me on that. I'm still fighting my own demons, right? I'm an empty vessel. I'm still here to learn. I wish I had the right answer. But Stuart, are you ready to go on your rant real quick, or where are we at? Here we go.
Right. Sorry, guys. Right. Just to make sure, can you, I'm sharing now, aren't I?
Yes.
Can you hear?
It's amazing to me that
right, you can hear that. Right. So, guys, sorry about this. I just want to put this out there. It's just a little rant that that I get so frustrated when I hear very clever, intelligent, sort of, because, like I say, I don't mix up education or educated with intelligence. So I mean, when I talk about intelligence, I usually associate sort of like people in the know, sort of like aware, free thinkers. Anyway, as I say, I'm very much into geopolitical stuff. So when I watch like geopolitical, and then when you see people in these type of like chats or like news rooms or whatever, and they're sort of like using flat earth in a derogatory manner, you know, the usual thing you are sort of like, oh, that's like thinking the earth is flat or something like that. It really winds me up, especially coming from. So I just thought I wanted to do this, and I'd love for Clayton, he's the newscaster in this particular. I mean, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Redacted. It's a YouTube, very popular now, very popular. They've got, I don't know how many subscribers they got, but they're also on Rockfin, and they talk about good stuff. A lot of geopolitical. And if anybody's never watched this and you're into geopolitical stuff and you've never ever watched Redacted, I highly advise. And what I'm going to say now is no sort of like derogatory comment to them as reporters, as investigators. They do a fantastic job where the geopolitical world, and they're fully aware of this corrupt nature that's going on in the world, as we all are. They're all aware of the sort of like globalists that are out there to sort of like have a takeover and all this stuff. But even if you're not into geopolitical stuff, if you want to know what's going on generally in the world, they're a place to go. So on the offset, straight off, I'm going to say I love Redacted. They are fantastic. The show comprises of Clayton and Natalie, which is his wife, the wife and husband. Also, David and Philip are in the background or whatever, and they interject now and again. Fantastic show. But anyway, I just wanted to show this particular clip because it gets me so frustrated. And I'd love for Redacted in general, because I think it's actually either David or Philip that does a lot of the research, as in what goes into the show and everything. So, but this particular one, we've all heard on the latest news about the so-called balloons, and supposedly now we're supposed to have this space war. And then when you talk about, when I hear intelligent, investigative people talking like this. So can I just hold on one sec? I've got to go up here. I just want to play this one particular clip for you, which really wound me up. So I'm at 3:30. So if you just listen to this one sec, because this really made me laugh. And this, to me, I want to say to the show. Hold on one sec. So I'm jumping to here. So tell me if you're right. So I'm just going to play this one clip to you guys. Sorry for this rant, but it's really thinking about me. So listen to this.
They've now got an invisible boogeyman that we can't verify. Endless funds.
Yeah, we can't audit this. No.
Well, NATO has said that Russia and China are, continuing to advance in space, and that it is making it more crowded and competitive. They said that Moscow and Beijing's counter space technologies could restrict allies' access to and freedom to operate in space, which I just would like to point out.
Get this.
Space is infinite.
Right.
So there should not be a competition for infinite space.
No, but this is the beauty of their budget. It's infinite. So
right. That was one particular section there. So I want to, if researchers within Redacted sort of like ever get to listen to this, or if there's anybody else that watches Redacted that is on the same page as me or whatever, throw them a link, send them to this video to just sort of like, because I don't know, I mean, Bobby, anybody in your case, anybody sort of like who's got that investigative skills that some of the length that these go to investigate certain topics, certain subjects, or whatever, you'd have thought they would have investigated the biggest lie out there. Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree with you.
Flat Earth has got to be the biggest lie out there. So it just frustrates me. Honestly, I'm sorry. It's a rant. I watched this. This was last night. This was, and I watched them last night. And I mean, I just laugh every time I hear space mentioned. And then if I just continue it just on a little bit, and then they talk about like they talk about them getting on the moon and Mars to weaponize it. Just listen to this.
Forever expand. No, we got to keep expanding. It'll start as the moon base, and then it'll expand to Mars. Now they literally said this. We're worried about China going to Mars. Okay,
we got to get there first.
So we got to
we've got to get there first
in the United States with toxic
guys
leaching into. Concerned about
guys, Clayton, Philip, there are no terra firma things out there at all. Please, guys. And if you've got so much intellect, the investigative skills into it, please. And I'd love them to respond to this video, and I'd love them to respond to me. And genuinely look into Flat Earth, because it really winds me up when somebody's so intelligent, so with their investigative skills. Look into it, guys, please. Flat Earth is very real, and if you can come on spouting out sort of like that, they're going to Mars, they're going to the moon, space is infinite, and all this lot. I'm sorry, but it just makes me laugh. And guys, I'm sorry for ranting, but I had to have a little rant on that one. And I don't know if anybody else has got any thoughts on that particular. There's another one, and I don't know if anybody watches him. Again, geopolitically, I watch a guy called Gonzalo Lira, and he has a round table on YouTube. And again, it's all geopolitical, talking about Ukraine and that. But the amount of times that he brings in a derogatory comment regarding Flat Earth, it's always like, oh, well, you must be like one of these flat earthers that believe, or the Flat Earth. It really winds me up. So again, as well, Gonzalo Lira, please quit it with the Flat Earth sort of like derogatory comments. That's my rant. Sorry.
I can't get into geopolitical stuff. I personally, I can't. Like, just like they laugh at Flat Earth, I laugh at geopolitics. Like, this is me. I know there's I know. Because it's just like Ukraine's an example, right? None of that's real in my opinion. He's just an actor to me. Like the president of Ukraine is just an actor to me.
Well, again, we'd have to agree to disagree on that one there, Bobby. But because I'll say it's some of that.
Did you see Sean Penn? Out of curiosity, Stuart, did you see Sean Penn give the president of Ukraine his Oscar?
Oh yeah. That was that. Yeah, that's as I say. Don't get me wrong, Bobby. It's as far as like the political situation goes regarding the likes of sort of like the leaders of like the US and whatnot, and like you say, Sean Penn or whoever, going off to Ukraine, to Zelensky, and giving him all this check. I mean, that's all theatre. Yes, all that is theatre. It's all. I mean, the world's a stage at the end of the day. But in my view, there is a real genuine world domination fight going on here, and Russia are in their way. Russia and China are in the way of a global domination. The West, and I've got the West have got at the moment now pretty much a world dominance within like the dollar, the petrodollar, and all that lot, and they certainly don't want to lose that, but they want to go further, as in global control. They cannot get global control while Russia and China and many other ones now coming into the BRICS, joining the BRICS. But yeah, to me, that is all genuine. But don't get me wrong. the world is a stage, and yes, there's very theatrical stuff going on. I mean, yeah, they probably all sit in the room, sort of like having a fag or what, feet up together, thinking, let me see it, we've got them all, whatever. But yeah, but anyway, that's my views on that. This is not a geopolitical channel. I know we talk about quite a few things, but
I think they all have the same bosses, and the suffering to the civilians is real. It's almost like a comedy show or a live show where there's definitely a skit, but they'll bring someone up from the audience to be a part of it. So the suffering that is put onto the civilians is very real, but they all have the same boss. Yeah. So yeah,
they have, and like you say, well, this flat Earth business. Well, are they all in it? Well, yes, they are all in it, because every single leader and every single leader of every country has got their own sort of interest in keeping their own population dumbed down. So it's people say, well, why don't Russia sort of like grass on the US supposedly going to the moon? They know they didn't go to the moon. They know they didn't land on the moon in '69 or whatever. Why don't they grass? Because at the end of the day, every single country, every single leader has got their own political sort of agenda to keep control of their population. So that's
Stuart, as you were saying that, with all the different countries that went to the moon, I don't know why this just occurred to me now, but you know how as America, or is it maybe it's worldwide, but I thought it was just America, that it was only us that lost the technology supposedly, right? So did all the other countries lose that as well? Because like how you were just saying, all the other countries. So did China lose? Did everyone lose their technology?
Well, there's only the US in it that have put man on the moon. There's only NASA that have put actually boots on the ground, supposedly. I mean, everybody else is supposed to send sort of like crafts out there or whatever. Even China's putting things on the moon now and all that crap. But the US are the only ones that supposedly put boots on the ground, so to speak, on the moon. And yeah, they are the only ones that, by the sound of it, have lost all the data. Yeah.
Man, I hope we find that one day.
I'd be curious what the viewers feel about the geopolitical, if they just think it's all a bunch of hogwash, or they like, who believes in it and who doesn't. But I think if it's a monarchy, then it's either a monarchy or it's not, right? So if you have a monarchy and you have factions under your monarchy fighting, then
do you not think like that? I mean, like I say, in my view, there is a world dominant sort of like fight going on here for this globalization, the globalization of to attempt so-called to unite all the continents, all the world, supposedly unite them all so they can have, I mean, everybody under the thumb, so to speak, with all the surveillance and everything like this. Whereas, I mean, I do believe there is a world sort of like a world governance war going on now, and China and Russia are in the way of that, because BRICS now are totally different to the G7. The G7 is the Western sort of like collaboration of leaders or whatever, whereas now the BRICS is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And but Russia and China are playing a very slow tactical game of chess, who are 10 moves ahead of the West. They are. You
never seen the picture of like George Bush Jr. and Putin and another, and they've got on their Freemasonry uniforms together. You know.
Yeah. The world's a stage, mate, and I won't disagree with that one. They're probably all laughing and having a joke at the end of the day. But the US and the West, well, I say US because it's mainly NATO, and the US basically running NATO, and sort of like so. But that's my theory anyway. But
that's okay. I mean, like, and again, it doesn't bother me if we disagree. Like, I don't. You know, again, this is all. We're all living in different realities, every single one of us. And I think it's cool that we can talk about it, and by talking about it, we understand it. That's what I believe, and you start to understand someone. And I think if nothing else, I think like the real goal, I think, should be to be able to understand different people's realities. there's always going to be people that cannot step into true earth reality. They just can't do it. And they can't step into, modern day Babylon, where there are still child sacrifices going on, right? That's a reality. Some people aren't down with that reality, but me, I live in a modern day Babylon. There's spiritual warfare, religious warfare, and we live in an encapsulated level stationary plane. That's my reality.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's my reality as well. But like I say, at the end of the day, I mean, I still believe, like I say, the so-called, as Mr. Nick was saying there in the chat, like that regarding the New World Order. I mean, this is where they're heading us. This is where they're trying to take us, and into a total sort of like the control of humanity. I mean, that's where we're going with all the AI and cashless society, where they can control everything you spend. And I mean, this is where it's going at the end of the day.
I don't think we got, so my worldview is that we don't have much longer, honestly. Like I'm almost to the point where I'm just going to quit my job and spend my final days with my family riding around, seeing different world attractions,
Why, how long do you think we've got left then, Matt?
I think it's days to years, honestly. Like
days. I mean, great.
Days to years, it could be years. It could be, it could, I mean, you got two more things that have to happen, right? You have to have the temple being rebuilt, which is, they've already got plans for it. There's just a mosque in the way.
Oh yeah.
And then you've got the, is it the abomination of desolation? Is that what it's called? That has to happen. 1 second. I messed this up once. Yeah, I think I said it right. That's the last two things that have to happen. All these other things we've got to rebuild the temple, and you've got the abomination of desolation. That's it. Those two things, and those two things are ready to happen. Then you've got a war in modern day Iraq that's going to take place, right? That's as soon as that happens, as soon as the Antichrist goes in and sits on the chair. Now I know this is where you and I differ. You're on the geopolitical side. I'm on the religious side. So you're waiting.
But you're looking. But some of it can some of it can tally in. I mean,
but look, I'm gonna respond to Brenda when Brenda says something interesting to me, right? Brenda makes interesting points sometimes. I don't agree with everything Brenda says, but Brenda just said, well, that's my delusional reality. But here's the thing. It's not delusional to believe in a God. That's not delusional, right? That's just some people do and some people don't. There's no more evidence. I argue there's more evidence that there's a creator. You don't believe in a creator. You believe in all matter in the universe coming from a dot. That's mainstream science. If you agree with mainstream science, you believe in that. And you believe that's why stars make concentric circles. You don't get it both ways. You get concentric circles because everything is going outward and we're traveling in that outward motion. Everything had to come from a dot. So you believe not just our Earth, but all the other planets, all the other suns, all the other Earths around all the other suns, trillions and trillions and trillions of these things, more than than our brain even has the capacity to fathom, all fit into a dot, right? That the two go hand in hand, right? And that's just one of the jokes. There's not enough time for evolution. We've never witnessed any evolution. I could go down all these roads, but my point is, it fundamentally comes down to, could there be a God or can there not be a God? And but to say that people are delusional for believing in a God is wrong, because I say you're delusional for believing that all matter in the cosmos can fit in a dot. Who's delusional, right? A God can exist, but to say all matter in the universe can fit into a dot, right? They actually call it an infinitesimal dot. It's a dot so tiny, and all matter in the universe came out of that. And then what? Who banged it? What made it bang, right? Remember that saying, why did it bang? Why did this dot explode? What made that happen? Brenda said, I did own my own tech company. I don't anymore. I gave it away. It now has a different name and a different owner. I did not sell it, but I did give it away. And it was a successful company when I gave it away.
Like I say, I'm beginning to think I won't even give Brenda the airtime.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Look, if Brenda makes good points. I'm okay. I don't think we should. I'm not going to be here with malice, and I'm not saying you do or you are. But if I'm
No,
watching
I'm
all
not
the
being-
comments. If a
I'm
good
not-
comment comes by, I don't care who it comes from. Brenda has some good points once in a while. But if you believe in a creator, then there's no limit to what you can think. There's just no. If you don't understand how the sun could work on a flat Earth, it doesn't matter. There's nothing saying you have the right to comprehend it. It's just fundamentally, I believe in a God. Fundamentally, you believe in a Big Bang. Why did it bang? Who banged it? We have no idea, right? But that's the difference.
I was watching.
I think that's an Owen Benjamin quote, right? Why did it bang? Who banged it? It's pretty funny.
Who banged it? Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah. But I was watching something this afternoon about suppose what's the name is bending of time, the bending of space time, or the bending of space fiber, or whatever, and. I just couldn't watch a lot of it because it's just nonsensical, just totally nonsensical.
And here's the thing, right? Well, thank you for that, Brenda. She said, I never said belief in God is delusional. I thought I misinterpreted what you said. Happens all the time. Hopefully you understand you're going to misinterpret me sometimes. But I believe in a God, and the things I believe that there's things I can't comprehend and there's things I can't understand, but you don't. I do. I don't hold that against you that you don't. That's where we're going to just sometimes our realities aren't going to align as a result of that.
I mean, it's just evolution, and the, like you say, supposedly from the Big Bang Theory and evolution, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's just because I'm still trying to find the evolutionary steps from the ape to us. I mean, where is it? Where's that evolutionary step? Nothing's living supposedly between us and the ape. So
no, I've never seen anything. Well, not just, and that's just humans, right? And you've got how many other species where there's no links in between. They don't exist. You just have all these different species, but there's no
evolutionary,
ape with fins, right? There's no ape with a tail. There's all these missing stuff, but
yeah. I mean, where's the Neanderthal man? Where have they gone? And where's the sort of where have all they gone? All them died off, and we just managed to survive the wipeout of the Neanderthals. I don't know. It just none of it makes any sense whatsoever. But anyway, yes.
1 second.
Have you got any? Just
Brenda
quickly
said
though.
She didn't believe that about your tech company. I'm really curious. What did you do? You program? I did program. Again, I've written about 1 million lines of code in LAMP and different languages. As far as IT, my resume is off the hook, so to speak. I've done everything in IT. I've programmed routers, firewalls, switches, hypervisors. Today I do cybersecurity. I set up SIM platforms. I deal with I do a lot of mostly Linux administration today, Ubuntu, Red Hat, SUSE, CentOS, both Debian and non-Debian. But I've done everything. I've been a Citrix instructor, a Microsoft certified instructor. I've been a Citrix engineer. I've built all types of Microsoft networks up to 10,000 seats. I've been a SQL admin. I've been an Exchange admin. I've been everything. There's just nothing I haven't done in IT. So as far as my IT, and I can send you articles where we opened offices in the Philippines. I've been on the cover of the Jacksonville Business Journal. So there's no doubt about any of that. I can tell you I had a very successful IT company, and I did give it away. Because I was living for the wrong reasons, and I realized that, and I just wanted to simplify my life. So that's that.
That's that. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I suppose it's very hard to ignore. When Brenda just said there, what is it? That I think your belief that flat Earth is faith-based. Do you have evidence for it? Again, just going around in circles because she's made this argument before. And we've given our argument, and we've told them what our it's not so much, I don't regard it as a faith, I regard it as a fact of what my day-to-day experiences are, and what I go out there and I experience, what I can experience with today's optics. I mean, it's not faith, it's what I visibly observe. So, but like I say, I'm responding again, and I know it's so hard not to respond because you just go round and round and round in circles. You're only saying that because a science book said. I'm not saying that because a science book said so. I'm saying it's because I personally observe day in and day out. When I go out in that street, it's what I observe with the optics of today, with my own eyes. So I'm sorry. You just can't stop reacting. I just can't stop reacting to.
Oh, it's all good.
Comments.
It's all good.
But the thing
focus,
is, I know she's. They're out there just baiting just for attention, and that's what saddens me. That's what saddens me. I'm sorry, but it's just attention. Attention has got nothing else in their life to I don't know, to be sort of at rest about. If you know what I mean. I mean, my soul is open to everything that's there, and I am connected with this earth. And I'm sorry, but I've got so much contentment in me knowing exactly where the realm that I live in, and they obviously haven't.
I'm sorry. What point did Creature make? Brenda, you have no evidence that the universe started from a point 1 trillion the size of a great point. Yep. So faith-based, the belief in a globe Earth is also faith-based. That's true. If there were evidence, I wouldn't. If believe me, If you could take me up in a plane and let me see a spherical Earth, I know it doesn't exist, right? Like I say that
the spherical Earth is only a belief that has been indoctrinated.
Right.
Yeah.
If I could go see that, I would convert in a second, right? But I know that you can't. I know that we never will. It is absolutely all right. Take care, Brenda. Until next time.
Sure.
Ironwork 92,000 said he watches Redacted too. So it must be all right. Cool.
Right. Well, Ironworks, right. If you catch up with, I don't know if you saw last night's particular show, but yeah, I've just shown sort of like clips or segments of it, and I don't know if you watched it, if you didn't, rewatch it, and it's just very frustrating. But yeah, it's because I just regard them on Redacted as very, very intelligent, very researched. They research all the stuff they do, and they are very. And yeah, I mean, I would just like them to, like we have done, is to seriously look into if they know anything about their globe model, the heliocentric model, look into that and think how sensical is that, and then look into how it would work, how everything works on a stationary, that we're the center of everything, we're stationary, and how everything works then. And yeah, I mean, I don't suppose I will, but I'd like to get a response on that from them. And if they're going to call me a nutcase, do so, please. Any reaction. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I regard them as so intelligent, and I love and I watch avidly every night. I will watch Redacted. I will sit there and watch it. But it made me laugh, but it also made me frustrated.
Yeah, let me give a shout out to Joe Hill, because it's a channel I enjoy watching, and I've watched him for years now, a few years.
Right, yeah.
I had sent his stuff to friends, so I want to give him a proper shout out. If you're a Christian on here, I know not everyone is. That's fine. We love you just the same. Joe Hill, and you're interested in Revelation, not just Revelation. The guy reads the Bible, right? He teaches me things all the time. Check out his channel. I was watching his channel last night, and Joe, let me just say, I was wondering where you're going with the frogs, buddy. I was like, he's like, watch these frogs swim. This is how the show started last night. He says, watch these frogs swim. Just watch the frog. And I'm sitting here watching frogs swim, and I'm like, where is he going to go with this? He can't go anywhere. This is like, has he lost his mind? And then sure enough, as he went further, I was like, oh, mind blown. I was like, oh my God, you have to be a fan of Revelation, right? You have to be someone who reads Revelation. And if you are, and I do, he showed me a connection I hadn't seen before, and his connections are all on this level. Man, just check him out. If you're Christian, check him out. You won't regret his channel. I promise it's not something you'll ever regret watching. So give his channel some love. It's just go to YouTube and it's Effed Up World, EFT Up World. Just I'll put the link in for. I'm gonna put the link in for Joe. It is, again, if you haven't seen his stuff, it's the revelation stuff that's the best to me, man. Just check it out. I'm open to everything, guys. We're all empty vessels. I know I am. But that's his channel. Give it some love. It's easy to give love. One day we're gonna get him on the show. But if not, I'll keep watching his stuff. He has some good stuff. I had a question. Yeah, man. Man, thanks for everything you shared, brother. Just keep sharing. I'll keep doing the same. We'll keep fighting this war together. And again, not everyone's a Christian. I get that, man. I wasn't, right? I am today, but I hope that one day in the end, we're standing on the same line, and we can say we were warriors in this fight. That's how I look at myself. I look like I got the full armor of God on, and
standing at those pearly gates together. You can say
that'd be cool. That'd be cool. And they do worship the sun, don't they? You see Neil deGrasse Tyson always with his sun vest on. That's a very common one. They all clearly do worship the sun. If y'all,
yeah.
I did a video called "They." Who are they? I thought it was a pretty neat video I released. I'm working on one now. I've been working on it for about 2 weeks. On the time I get, I'm probably like a day away from releasing it. It's called, Trolling the Masses. It's about how NASA trolls you. I don't think they fall into bloopers because they're not blooper. They're intentional, right? I didn't put any of these in the bloopers because it's where they're intentionally trolling you. So truth leads to salvation. Yep. Non-Trinitarian. Man, I'm going to tell you right now, this non-Trinitarian thing is big right now. For me, I've been watching the Flat Earth community, and Owen Benjamin's been debating it hard. He's been going hard on Trinitarianism, and so is Austin. Austin just did a video called "My Testimony." That's out on Rockfin now, and I'm too new to the game. This is a hard one. Like Stuart, if you haven't, I know you're not down that road yet, but when you do, It's not just as simple as being a Christian, right? Because it's like, man, now you can be a Christian and you can still be wrong, right? Like, it's like, how fair is that? That's totally unfair. Like Christians are arguing with Christians, but
it's like you said earlier on, though, when you said like there's no need to put anything in. My head's cluttered at the moment as it is. It's I mean, look, don't get me wrong, I intend on going down that, and I do dabble in there now and again when if somebody points you to a certain sort of like verse or whatever, you look into it and things like that. But no, I haven't gone down that Christianity thing, and that's why I cannot 100% can I come from a religious sort of like side of it, because I haven't done enough into it.
Aya Dreamcatcher said, "What does being a Christian have to do with the true earther?" I'm not saying it does. I think there are testimonies from true earthers, such as myself, who found the Creator through researching true earth. I did. I can tell you that I didn't believe in a creator, and true earth proved to me there was a creator, right? Like, there was just knowledge I didn't have about the earth. Like, when you start looking, I didn't know about concentric star trails. I didn't know about tides on both sides of the earth. I didn't know the moon and the sun were the same size, but one was 400 times closer and one's 400 times larger. I didn't know all these million coincidences that just can't exist. It's like we hit the cosmic lottery 10 times. It's not true. I didn't know there's no proof of evolution. I didn't know there's no proof of the Big Bang. I didn't know that all these things. You just listen, and you're young and you're an empty vessel, and you've been taught and conditioned to just listen, and they know better. And once you start questioning all this, I think true earth leads to a creator, and then where that leads, it's up to you when you're a creator. My research.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't gone further than a creator. All I know is, and like I've mentioned before on these streams, that I haven't gone there yet. I am aware that for the creation that we've got here has had to be intelligently created. There is no squalm, as far as I was concerned, about everything that's intelligently designed. I mean, you only have to look at like the human eyeball, the technicality of a human eyeball, that has got to have been intelligently created. and that certainly hasn't come from a big bang and pond scum that have crawled out of a bleeding sort of like reservoir or whatever and grown legs and then decided to walk and then whatever. But I mean, like I say, but my flat earth or my my true earth my true earth journey has definitely got me to there being a creator.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
creator I'm still trying to work out myself.
But there's a creator, and it's changed your life and it's changed your heart. You can see in your heart now.
100%. Yeah. It changes everything inside, knowing that you are intelligently created, and that the fact that you are part of everything. The stars in the sky, which I believe are souls, or we are connected with them in some form. And there is this, because I believe the whole earth, basically, everything around us it works on a vibration. And everything connects to that vibration. And if you're on the same vibration as something, then you just harmonize with it. And the moment you connect and harmonize with that vibration, then everything, I don't know, just everything's at ease, for want of an expression. You just feel so much at ease. But that's my journey up to now. As I say, I haven't gone down the religious line because
so here's the thing. Initially I was torn by it. Like I am a Christian. I do pray to God. But I didn't want my channel to be about Christianity because I know it would lose some people. And I felt like there are some people, and I did feel like if you can just get them on the road of flat earth, then you've got them on the road to the creator, and then they can figure out who the creator is. But the more I talk about it, Christianity keeps coming up. But what I am going to try to do is separate it. So like tomorrow, and I'm warning people, I have a warning. It's going to be Christian based. So if you don't, if you're not down that,
what time are you on? You're on 7:30, aren't you? Is it 7:30?
It's 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
7:30 my time. It's 7:30 my time. 7:30 p.m. my time. What? I want to answer that one. I want to answer that from M90. Plain truth. What happens when we die? Do you think? Friendly question. And I'm taking it friendly, mate. M90. I'm taking it friendly because that's what we are on this channel. Friendly chat. Friendly. What happens when we die? You see, there again. I like to think that I like to think that this piece of flesh that we are having this spiritual sort of like experiencing just dies off. That dies off. No squalms, goes under the ground, rots away, whatever. But I like to think that your spirit goes elsewhere. Where? Again, speculation. I don't know. I haven't died. I haven't been there. Just like I haven't been to the other side of Antarctica to see what's there. I don't know what's above us as far as we can go. I don't know what's below us. It's all speculation. So until I die, let's hope, can I come back and say, oh, you go here? But I'd like to think that my spirit, especially if I've done good in this, if I've done good in my life and that I have been the best that I can possibly be and answerable to a creator, I'd like to think that my spirit will go up there with the other stars and just be there. That's what I like to think. So that's my take on it. But I say I don't know, but that's what I like to think. But as far as this flesh that I'm in, that diminishes, just goes. But my spirit and my soul, because a lot of people have sold their souls, and I personally don't think that these ones out there that have sold the soul to be famous, lots of money or whatever, that they're just gonna have no afterlife whatsoever. So, but that's my own personal point of view. But thank you for the question.
Yeah, Church of Flat Earth said, why not create a companion channel? That's a good idea. Right now, I was kind of starting off with a companion live stream. It's like tomorrow is going to be about, and I'm going to always give a heads up. I'm going to it'll be like announced. So tomorrow I've got a pastor coming on, but that's a good idea. The reason I don't have a Christian live stream right now is like, I'm like a total empty vessel. There are things I don't understand. I don't understand the Trinity. Yeah. There's just, I'm gaining an understanding in my Christianity. I'm even confused on who to pray to. Like when I pray, I'm like, do I pray to God or do I pray to Jesus? I don't know. I'm confused about these things. There's things, and I think it was probably easier when people went to a church because the pastor would tell you how to do it. But when you're reading the Bible, you got to figure out for yourself. So I think it's a little more difficult. But I don't believe in going to churches because the ones I've gone to have been proven to be corrupt to me. So it's kind of a harder, in one sense, it's a harder journey.
I certainly personally think that as far as going to a building to praise to God, praise to the Lord, praise to Jesus, has certainly been corrupted in time, in that now it is just a money making, when they hand them baskets round and everything for communion and collection and all this lot. I think it's certainly been corrupted as far as churches are concerned, and it's all in the hands of the church side of it is all in the hands of the Satanists, if you will.
Yeah, I think we're doing just fine to pray at home, and you know what? Honestly, if I had never found the Bible, I would still pray to a creator at this point, right? I would just pray to a creator because I know we were created, and this is I honestly believe this is a test, right? And Austin said something the other day. I was listening to his channel. I was listening to the podcast he did called My Testimony, and he has one belief that I have. He said, I believe you're here and you're making a choice whether you want to exist or not, right? The people who choose to be godless, you're choosing to not exist. You're saying, all right, I don't want a God. You only exist with God. So you're saying I was perfectly fine with not existing before I existed, if that is truly the case. But, and you're saying, I'm good. I enjoy this world. Like I think people choose to be godless. I do believe that. And you're kind of choosing not to exist if you choose to be godless. Like, no offense to anyone. You shouldn't be offended because, like, I honestly think that is
like I say, I mean, I'm even, like I say, I said before, of the opinion that, is it God? I mean, we title this creator as God. I'm still not at that stage of putting a label there. Because, like I say, I think I've come to the point, like I say, that it's undeniable that this place has been intelligent created. Who that intelligent creator is I'm still on that journey. I am still on that journey. And I don't think, to tell you the truth, I honestly think, I mean, unless I pass away and I meet that creator, it's probably the only time I'll ever realize, say, oh, hiya, mate. Oh, do you know, I have believed in you. I knew you were there, but I just couldn't put a face to the name.
Yeah, but Christianity is interesting because I shouldn't say interesting. I shouldn't say it like that, but it's got this caveat to it. If you don't believe in Jesus Christ, there's no afterlife for you. Or I don't know if I'm saying that right? Like, it's the only way to the Father is through the Son. Yeah. And basically says, I had a friend he was going to church, and what did he say? He said something about, well, I don't necessarily believe in, he was going to a Christian church, but he didn't know that if he didn't believe in Jesus, that he couldn't go. He's like, well, I just pray to a God. That's all that matters. I'm like, oh, it's not that simple. You can't just leave Jesus out of the equation in Christianity. It doesn't work like that. You don't, he's the salvation. So it's, sometimes I'm worried, if you pray to the right person, I typically, anyway, this is my,
I mean, like, before I started on this journey, as we mentioned, I was total atheist. I wasn't even interested in reading the Bible. But like I say now, I will read verses that people mention to me and say, oh, look, this says this. I will then look into it. And now, when you read some of the verses and some of the sections of the Bible, for me anyway, personally, has a whole new meaning to it, to what, as an atheist, when you read it. And now they do have a total different meaning, where you can connect with a lot of it. So, but I can say I don't swear by the Bible. I mean,
I turned you told me the other day you're reading Enoch, right? Or have you been listening to the book of Enoch?
I've been listening. Yeah, I have been listening to the audio version, but I haven't. Again, there's a lot into it. There's just a lot that's
Wait till it gets into the stars and the planet. Wait till it gets into the circuits of the luminaries. That's when your head explodes. Just if you haven't made it to that part, you got to keep going. And then the story of how the Watchers came down.
I can only take a little bit of it at a time. I honestly can, because I have literally got to listen to some and then literally come away from it and just take in that section and sort of like make sense of it, if you know what I mean. And sort of like, because there is, I mean, I'm not the brightest, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, and these things maybe just take a little to process, like, and everything. But it is amazing. It's interesting, but I've not got there yet, mate.
Yeah, I can tell you that, since I come to find a creator, and I came to, dabble with the Bible, read when I can and pray when I can. I gave up cussing, right? Like it just doesn't impress me anymore. I used to think it was so cool. Like when you could drop F-bombs, it kind of made, it kind of was like made your language different. It made points but I realized that, to listen to someone like Jordan Peterson is way more impressive, right? I'd rather be a Jordan Peterson than an Owen Benjamin. And that's great.
Yeah.
I respect them both, but, and Owen Benjamin is fun to watch, and there's a different level of respect that comes with Jordan Peterson, right? If you're trying to change people's minds or you're trying to influence people, I think that it's far more impressive to do it without cussing. But that's just my take. I don't have a problem with it. Some of my best friends cuss like sailors. It doesn't bother me. I'm cool with it. But I think you just lead by example. Whatever happens, happens.
I'd like to think that a lot of the time now, because ever since I'm more mellowed out, shall I say, I don't curse anywhere near what I used to. I mean, I think that just comes with, whether that comes with old age mellowing out and sort of type of thing. But I now just don't feel the necessity to, unless like you're fuming and you're really angry at someone, and it's like, beep. But other than that, I mean,
let me ask this question, because I know I see a little chatter here from Joe and Thomas, and I'm curious of this. Have you all heard Christians make the argument that you cannot go, that if you don't know Jesus's real name, you can't, like I've heard the argument that his real name is Yahweh Shai, right? You heard that, team Yahweh Shai? RJ and those guys out there to Wake Souls. I'm just curious if, what are your all's thoughts on that? I'd heard that. And then we'll move on after that. But I was curious if y'all heard that argument. There's Christians out there that argue that, what his name is, right? It can't be Jesus because J didn't exist, right? Well, it doesn't matter, because my name's not Bobby in Italian, it's Bobby, right? And then different countries don't have certain sounds, and then over years they change even more. So I don't think that is super relevant how you pronounce his name, as long as you know who he is.
Yeah, I've just got to agree there with Paddy, where he says, "I curse, but it has its place." Exactly.
Yeah, it's fine, man. Look, it's fine. I want to give you an example. The other day, someone left a comment and said, I let my children learn from you. I let my whole family watches your videos to kind of learn about flat Earth. And first off, I was like, wow, that's a lot of responsibility, man. I don't even know that I'm ready for that. But at the same time, I realized why they said it. I kind of thought, if it were someone else, I hate to use Owen Benjamin again as an example, but he could be given the same knowledge. I wouldn't let my children watch it, right? Like, that's the point. It's that certain people are going to disconnect from it, and you have more credibility without. So I have nothing against cussing personally. I just don't.
No, feel the like I say, I think now, I think now, like I say, it has its place, and it's one of those that I don't know, but right. It's I don't mean to cut you loose. You cut you short here, Bobby.
It's pretty late where you are. You can go ahead and
it's been we've done our 2 hour, which we usually aim for, and it's been an absolute once again. It's been a brilliant.
I may hang on for a second. I mean, you're welcome to stay or go. It doesn't matter. I'm just reading a couple of these comments.
You're gonna go. Yeah, you're gonna go with the comments, are you?
I don't know if I will. I don't know. I honestly have no idea if I'll keep this rolling or not. I may wrap up in 2 minutes.
I'll probably log in when I go to bed, and you'll still be on sort of like 5 hours in 5 hours time.
I'm definitely not going 5 hours. I'm gonna go hang out with the family here in a second. But
no, I'm gonna get
cool.
off anyway. Hopefully, again, guys, we'll be doing this. Hopefully, if Bobby's up for it again, because I appreciate you having me on, Bobby.
I'm up for it. What we're gonna do it every Saturday. So
yeah.
Just send me your stream keys. I asked for those, remember, so we can stream to both channels at once. So I'm still waiting on that. So
yeah. I'll sort that out. Like I say, it's I've not done a lot on my channel, but if anybody's interested in just clicking on and subscribing to
type it in there. Truth. Share the link, Stuart. Share the link.
Hold on, it's Plain Truth at Comtech 1964 is my channel. 1 sec, I'm gonna have to get I will get my link and I'll put it. Mind you, for some reason, blah 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 blah. If you can just confirm this link with me, I'll see if I can put it. For me, sometimes it might do because I'm a moderator. I think you have now, aren't I? So, oh yeah, it's come up as the link. Can you see that in the chat? Can you just click on that and see it?
Yeah. Well, you're saying click it and see where it goes.
Yeah. See,
I can't click a link where I'm at. It only lets me show it. If I click on something, it just lets me show it. I can't click the link. I can't follow it. So.
Right. No problem. Well, if anybody who can click that link, that's my channel. Very small at the moment. Only 65 subscribers at the moment, but I would appreciate a click. I am hoping to do more with Bobby and probably myself on there, and just see if I can get a bit of a channel myself going. Like you say, Bobby, we could probably maybe, like you say, if I give you my stream key, you can we can probably stream the same show to my channel as well at the same time. But see if we can get some different audiences going. But yeah, my link's there. So guys, thanks very much. It's been a pleasure, and thanks, Bobby, once again. It's been an absolute pleasure to be on here. Just have a general amicable chit chat, and well enjoyed it. So you take care, Bobby. Guys in the chat, been a pleasure talking to you and responding to some of your comments there. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I will catch you guys Saturday. We're on again next Saturday, same time, and see you later, guys, and bye for now.
See you, Stuart. I just figured I'd wrap up kind of one-on-one because I saw a couple of comments, and I just wanted to drop a few things, like a few different people in here. Just want to say again, tomorrow is going to be the Christian, right? I'm going to have a Christian pastor on. So that's at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. And if anyone wants to come on the show, let me know. I love having people on. If you're interested, if you want to come on and chat, you want to do a one-on-one, I'm only doing kind of the group thing on Saturdays, but other than that, I'm doing one-on-ones. And if you want to come on and talk about it, kind of be chronicled, if you will, come on, send me an email. In my email, I'm going to type it in here. That's my email, flattalk@bobbythompson.net. And by the way, I have a new YouTube channel, which will probably eventually become a primary. It's Yahtzee, YATC. Let me share that real quick. Let me just share that link. And it's also on Rockfin as Yahtzee. So I thought it was a super cool name. Yet another truther channel. Just share that link. So if you can go give it some love, that would be cool. Because it's right now a backup channel, but I do live cast there as well. So every live cast will go to Yahtzee and Flat Earth and Coffee and Rockfin. And cool. Thanks for everyone for dropping in. Thanks, Thomas. Thanks, Joe Hill, Guyana, aka Frank. I know where you live now. I don't know where I got Africa. I was thinking Africa from the Guyana, right? Awesome, man. I'll see everyone tomorrow. And again, every Tuesday night, 6 p.m., Wednesday night, 6 p.m., Saturdays, 2 p.m., Sundays, 2 p.m., except for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be 2:30 p.m. to meet the pastor's schedule. That was his request. Good show. Try to catch that sunrise soon and ask yourself. Okay. All right. Thank you, brother. Maryland. All right. I'm out. Good show, everybody. Until next time. Take care.